coming to Washington, D.C., the other Washington, to me is always helpful because, it informs our work back in Washington State because we know what's going on up here. So, for example, as we come to Washington, D.C. to work on the budget for the National Endowment for the Arts, it helps me plan when we know especially that there is bipartisan support for the NEA, which is wonderful. It helps me plan for the budget back in Washington State because, I know, for example, that if we're going to hold at least equal funding, then I can plan for that amount and, plan whether it's around our granting programs or our creative district certification program or working with arts in the military. It's just helpful to know what's going on at the federal level because we do know that it trickles down to the state and is impactful at that level as well. I am back at the invitation of Americans for the Arts, of course. Whenever Americans for the Arts ask me to come and help, if I can be helpful, I am going to be here. I think of Americans for the Arts as one of the most impactful advocacy voices on the Hill, for arts and humanities and our cultural life in general. So I'm back because they asked me. But also because I passionately believe in the importance of the arts and the creative economy and the power of our congressional members and Congress in general to help make that happen, to help lift up the power of the arts, whether it be working with arts and health or arts and our kids through arts and education. On every level, the arts touch in a positive way our lives as Americans. So if I can be helpful in that, I'm going to be here. The arts and our young people are critical. So as you mentioned, our granddaughter, Tasia, is using the arts without really thinking about it. She's using the arts in her general life to create content, whether she's making videos or she's learning a new dance that she can then, bring in front of us and then, of course, put it on video to hopefully one day show the world. But, it's inspiring in her a level of creativity and joy that is unparalleled. And when I watch some of the programs that we at the state level are doing around arts and creativity, especially with our earliest learners, as they approach kindergarten, for example, the arts are a way to level the playing field in terms of helping kids learn. And, whether I'm talking about arts integration, so maybe they're learning to be better at math through an arts discipline. All those ways of approaching arts in education are helpful to, bring even those kids who don't have much going on at home maybe, but if in their school, the arts are emphasized, it makes a difference. It makes a difference to their capacity to learn. Often it's what keeps a kid in school because they've got the drama class or the music class. It helps them learn disciplines like working together. Sticking to something. It's helpful on so many levels. So without a robust arts and education program, we don't have the creative minds that we desperately need for the 21st century. So arts and education is critical. And advocating for that, I have no problem with that because it makes sense. And, I hope and I think more and more on a bipartisan basis, our congressional members, our state legislatures, they understand that. And I applaud them for that because the creative economy is huge in our country. And in Washington State, we actually have the largest creative economy in the country. So, I've digressed a little bit from talking about arts and education, but it all leads to the same thing. It leads to a robust creative economy and robust communities that are joyful, creative places to live and work.